first time, Mac. You are the first ever idea episode of whatever this is.
I do feel really honored because I believe that this has a potential.
Yeah?
I think it has a lot of potential. The people that could be sharing their opinions and offering their experiences for other people to grow. And I think there's a lot of people in this company that have a lot of great stories. I'm not necessarily the best storyteller. There are some really good storytellers out there that would be good to hear from.
We'll have to go find them.
Yes.
So, to say that, we got to tell you who you are. So, this is Mac. And do we do your proper name?
My real name is Stephen Dwayne McMurtry.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Middle name as well.
Yeah.
Mac is the Academy Manager at Walmart 4637.
Yes.
And tell us what that means.
The Academy Manager really tries to balance the store operations with the Academy operations. A lot of what the Academy Manager does is help make sure that the scheduling is right in the Academy, as well as making sure that the store maintains store standards to be able to pass what we have as an Academy audit, and may be able to teach all the classes that we offer. Sometimes the Academy Manager has to make sure that standard is upheld, so the Academy can continue to teach.
Okay. At the end of the day, you manage the house of cards that is Academy, training all of the associates in your catchment, which is basically Tulsa.
Yes.
And there are 30-plus stores in the area, and obviously at the outskirts of Tulsa as well.
Right.
So we've got Ponca City and Owasso and Bartlesville and Bixby.
Yeah, and we believe it's soon to change.
And we think there'll be some new stores en route very soon.
Yeah.
So, like I told you before we were talking about even doing this kind of thing, what is the reason you started with Walmart to begin with?
I started in the year 2000 at Store 10 in Tahlequah. I was just in college at the time and just working as part-time in lawn and garden. And then I moved over to electronics, and then they had, at that time, it was called a first-in-line manager program. And so since I was in college at the time, I could apply to be in first in line, which basically you were a support manager then, kind of learning the ropes on how to be an assistant manager while you were still in college. And then I got a call, and so they were just starting all these neighborhood markets in Tulsa.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
They hadn't started yet.
No. Well, they'd built a couple, and they were going to build this new one on 46th and Peoria. It was 5093 as the store number. But they had just they were building that one, and they needed an overnight support manager. And so I was just at a lateral move at the time. And as an overnight support manager there, you were basically the assistant manager still, because they didn't have any other member of management on nights. So it was really good, and it really helped me a lot learn probably the most important part of working nights, and that was time management. And that's where I really learned time management skills and task completion, and the importance of staying on time was in that role as an overnight support manager.
So that was while you were still in school?
Or
you had just left?
I just left Tahlequah, and I decided I was just going to make a career with Walmart.
Oh, wow.
So I decided, well, there's a lot more opportunity. They were offering me more money because I was in the metro area and to do this job. And so I just moved to Tulsa as more of a career opportunity. And I knew that if I did well as an overnight support manager and I could deliver an awesome store every morning, then they would probably make me assistant manager soon. So that's kind of the route that I went. So I did get promoted from overnight support manager to assistant manager. I stayed assistant manager for about 6 years. Several stores in the Tulsa area. I worked at 992, 472, and then I went back to Stillwell, my hometown. I just had my son was just born, so I got a chance to go. They were opening a new store in Stillwell, so I got a chance to go help them open that new store, as well as be close to my wife's family and my family while we opened that store. And then I left there after about a year, came back to the Tulsa area in Broken Arrow, and that's when I got promoted from 472, just down the street, to co-manager at Junction City, Kansas.
Junction City. So how many stores are we talking about in there? You just went through Neighborhood Market, and you named 992, 472, Stillwell.
Yeah, it was about six
stores.
Yeah,
in that time frame. And what time frame are we talking about? How many years?
About 6 years.
Okay.
Yeah,
6 stores in 6 years.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's not counting. I guess that's counting store 10 as well. It's 5093.
So you and I have talked before on this issue, and this is one of the main reasons I wanted to talk with you. And so the question being, the question we always want to ask is, have you ever thought about leaving Walmart, and what caused you to stay? In your situation, you did leave Walmart.
Yes. Well, I was like I said, I was a co-manager I went to Junction City as a co-manager, and I was there for a couple of years. I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed it there. Had a good store manager and had a good leader there. And then I decided to come back closer to home to Tulsa, and I got the chance to do that, and I came back to Glenpool. And so I was a co-manager there for 4 years. The first few years there were great. We had a really good store manager, a good leader, and then that leader got promoted, and we got several store managers in between that time. And so I got really frustrated with the turnover in leadership, not just my store manager, but also the market team transitioned like 2 or 3 times within a year period. The regional team had some transition as well. I got to a point at Walmart where I felt like we had lost touch with people. I didn't think that we'd made people a priority. One point, we changed our name badge that it said "Save Money, Live Better" on it, and that was what it really felt like to me at the time. Is that all that mattered was the bottom line, and it is important, and we are in business to make money, and we have to drive profits. But we had lost touch with the things that are important to people. They did a lot of things that didn't help the engagement of people. We went through this one process where we took out all the action alleys in the store, and we said we're not going to have any more features in these action alleys. And then it lasted, I don't know, 6 months, maybe a year tops, that lasted. And then we came back around and we decided to put all of the action alleys back into the stores that we just took out of. And so that was kind of near the end of when I left as well. And it was just things like that, and the amount of leadership that we went through, I just really lost my engagement. And so I left the company. When I was gone, I kept in touch with people at Walmart, and I realized that we did change the name badge back to
you mentioned that.
Yeah, our people make the difference, and I really felt like they got a lot better leadership, especially here in the Tulsa area, and it seemed a lot more stable, and I felt like that there was some turnover also in the area that was good, that I thought we needed, and then I decided to come back and got the opportunity to come back actually to this store as an assistant manager that I was brought back to.
That's right. I remember that because you left for a little bit, went to another store, and then they brought you back as the academy manager here. Yeah. And everyone was like, well, man, did you go on vacation?
Right. You've been gone like 6 months. Yeah. Did you have leave of absence or something?
Which is always a fun joke when management does rotate around. But I really want to go back to your name badge. So how important that was to you, I think that's interesting. We talk about save money, live better, and it is a great slogan. And it's not just the slogan, it's kind of snippets that were taken out of the 1992 speech that Sam gave when he received the Congressional Medal of Freedom from George H.W. Bush.
Right.
So it's a big deal. It's part of our DNA. You can take it all the way back to the very beginning. But there was something that spoke to you, and it's become a big deal to us, and that being our people make the difference.
Right. I think the Save Money, Live Better drove a culture in some people that was the bottom line is all that mattered, and people were now second.
Which isn't the point of the slogan.
It's not, and it wasn't the point. And I don't think I don't think it was anything that anybody intentionally did.
Sure.
I think that just things as small as what we represent on our name badge and what we talk about as our core belief, changing it to something like that and taking the attention off of the associate and how important it is, and how important they are.
Part of the conversation then now is, at the end of the day, where do you see yourself at Walmart? Where would you like to land?
I would like to be a store manager. I was a co-manager for a long time. I really did like that position. I really enjoyed being a co-manager. But I think that with the knowledge that I have gained here from the academy, and also the experience that I've had as being a co-manager for so long,
sure.
I think the best route for me would be to step into the store manager role and to use those things that I've been able to learn.
Which is exciting to hear, to think, okay, here's an individual that wants to be a store manager and whose passion is that our people make the difference. That's kind of who wouldn't want to work in that environment? Then the final question then, and we're trying to have some fun with it, what's something you want to do before you die? We call them DDWs, don't die wondering.
Don't die wondering. If I was going to listen to my wife, then I have to go to Ireland. So I have to go to Ireland before I die, and I probably will make that at some point. That's one of the bucket list. Definitely got to do it.
And the Strawberry Festival in Stillwell.
The Strawberry Festival I will continue to frequent as long as there are still strawberries.
What does, the last and final question that's directed to this, what does RISE, and the whole concept of RISE, respect for the individual, integrity in all that we do, service to the customer, and excellence always, what does that mean to you? Like, what stands out? What do you think of when you think of RISE that's so important for our company, for other people? What do you want people to know?
That it's our core beliefs. And people that have shown those virtues or those pillars are people that rise to the top in our company. There's people that I've come across that have great customer service, and there's people that I've come across that have great integrity. But it's those that are able to fuse all four of those things together that really are the most successful. They're really the most successful people in our business. The people that can take all four of those beliefs and institute them in their everyday life at Walmart. Because it's easy to, some of them, they're not all easy for us. They don't always all come naturally. Some of we may struggle with some of those aspects, but if we're able to be good in each one of those areas, I think it really helps you succeed.
Which works out, because they are our four core values, our beliefs. And so with that, we're going to wrap it up. Again, this is Mac, Academy Manager at Walmart 4637 Academy, which is pretty exciting. And as always, do you have anything final?
Rise
Rise together.